Malik Farmer Foundation reached out to prisoners at the Mile 2 prisons. We will bring you that report a bit later. Bakausu Fofana, fiery preacher, chips into debate on whether it is God who puts people in leadership positions. These and many more, but first we will start with the papers, and I'll begin with the Standard newspaper. The Standard today, Thursday, 22nd or 23rd May, is reporting that Mayor and Works Minister, that's Mayor Rohilo of Banjul, and Works Minister clash over Banjul Roads project. Barrow still reviewing Janet Commission report. That's according to the spokesperson, the spokeswoman of the presidency. George tells Ghana government to get Jammeh over 2005, that's the year 2005 massacre. OIC Secretariat staff not paid in dollars. That's according to OIC officials. Gambia losing millions from Simbox fraud. We'll quickly go through some of the stories on the Standard. Mayor and Works Minister clash over Banjul Roads project, written by Lamin Cham. That's the editor of the Standard. Councillors and members of the Banjul City Council, led by Mayor Rohilo, yesterday confronted Works Minister by Lamin Job, alleging that they were snubbed over details of the Banjul Roads reconstruction. The BCC officials further contended that the elected executives of the municipality, the council, deserves at least to know something about the $37 million roads project. In a short but charged explanation, Mayor Low told the minister, who was touring the project as part of a nationwide inspection of roads projects, that it was both unimaginable and flabbergasting that the BCC knows virtually nothing about the project apart from the mayor's invitation to attend its launching. I have been inundated with questions from both my councillors and the general public and media as to the nature of the project, but I cannot find any answers because I simply don't know any aspect of the project. I have, since coming to office, been knocking on doors about this project. For example, having meetings with the contractor Hadim Gai and the minister himself over this project. But here we are. We don't even know anything about the project, as I have not even seen the project document. As the BCC, the direct representatives of the people of Banjul, we deserve to know at least the details about the project, such as how much money is involved and which streets are to be paved, etc. That's the mayor complaining there. She demanded that the BCC be involved or at least shown the project documents, again that even though it may be a central government project, the beneficiaries are Banjulians. The mayor was supported by the councillors who wanted to know which streets would be paved or built from the more than 30-kilometer roads project. Still on the Standard newspaper, Barrow still reviewing Janet Commission. By Alajimane, Director of Press and Public Relations at the presidency, told journalists yesterday that the reason nothing has been heard of the report of the Janet Commission is because President Barrow is still reviewing it. The presidency, or the president, is reviewing the report of the Janet Commission in conjunction with the technical people that are involved to ensure that the recommendations of the report are known and understood. It will be public information. That is the decision that is going to be taken, she said. On the MOU, on the position of the president on the coalition MOU following the recent meeting by coalition stakeholders, Ami Bojan Sisoho noted, as far as I know, the president acknowledges that there was an MOU that was not signed, but it was campaigned under the issue of 3 years. That is the recommendation, has indicated a lot of other areas of governance relating to the commissions we are talking about right now, to make sure that there is institutional and security sector reform. All these are part of what the MOU wanted. The spirit is to ensure that in the governance of the transition period, we have institutional reforms. We have the issues of the commissions that would make sure that we have accountable and transparent institutions, as well as reforming the security sector. Also, on the Standard newspaper, the Standard is also reporting that George tells Ghana government to get Jammeh over 2005 massacre. A former head of the Ghanaian Commission on Human Rights and Administrative has called on Ghana government to take urgent steps to take former Gambian President Yahya Jammeh to Ghana to face justice for the massacre of some 44 Ghanaians in 2005. Under a coalition of civil society groups called CSO Coalition Partners on Justice to Jammeh Ghana campaign, efforts are being made to get the government of Ghana to take Jammeh to the country to face the courts. In 2005, some Ghanaians who were in the Gambia attempting to join a vessel to Europe were allegedly killed by forces of the Gambian government, allegedly on the instructions of former President Jammeh. OIC Secretariat staff not paid in dollars. The OIC Secretariat yesterday held a press conference where they cleared a number of issues. So the Standard is reporting that the Secretariat is saying that their staff is not being paid or are not being paid in dollars. The Chief Executive Officer of the OIC Banjul Secretariat has dispelled rumors that his staffers are paid in dollars. Speaking at a press conference at the OIC Secretariat barely a week after Gambia surrendered OIC summit hosting rights to Saudi Arabia, Sane said his staffers are paid in dollars, contrary to widespread assertions among Gambians. He also denied receiving a $10,000 salary, that's monthly salary, as claimed in some quarters, saying he is serving on a voluntary basis. Sane said the Secretariat spent $600,000 over the year on trainings and other administrative costs, adding that the Secretariat is not receiving funding from the government. The Standard is also reporting that, as the World Bank director says, Gambia's economy very promising. Gambia losing millions from Simbox fraud. The Gambia's Public Regulatory Authority has reported that the country is losing unprecedented sums of millions of dollars in revenue over illegal redirection of international calls by unscrupulous individuals who bypass the country's international gateway, owing to very high incoming termination rates from calls into the Gambia. There remains a grey market dominated by SIM boxers. The management and senior officials of PURA yesterday appeared before deputies at the National Assembly to present their financial and activity reports for 2017 and 2018. The officials say the country's high incoming termination rates for international incoming calls, massive drops in international traffic due to increase in voice over internet protocols, VoIP, and the absence of a robust gateways monitoring system are among the principal factors that factored the rise of Simbox fraudsters. So that will be all on the Standard. We will move on to the Point newspaper. Today, the Point is reporting that BAC, that's the Brikama Area Council Mango diplomacy, a sharp affront to WCR, that's West Coast region. Government to purchase 7,500 metric tons of fertilizer as rains approach. OIC summit deferment is in Gambia's interest. Rights group calls on government to drop charges against protesters. Let's look at some of the stories on the Point. The Point is reporting that West Coast Region's Tax Collection and Development Authority, Brikama Area Council, has exposed the region into daylight ridicule on the social media when the management took a new style in its diplomacy like never before by sending 100 bales of mango to the council's longtime counterpart, Grand Yoff municipality in Senegal. This is the first time in history for a development authority that is responsible of collecting and managing one of Gambia's biggest and most populous regions' taxes to feel in its responsibility to the point of strengthening diplomatic ties through bales of mangoes. Government to purchase 75,000 or 7,500 metric tons of fertilizer as rains approach by Sankule Janko. According to the presidency on Wednesday, the Gambia government will purchase 7,500 metric tons of fertilizer for the 2019 rainy season, which is fast approaching. OIC summit deferment is in Gambia's interest. That's the press conference held yesterday there. Deferring the hosting of the 2019 Organization of Islamic Conference OIC Summit to 2022 is in the interest of the country because the objective of the Secretariat is to boost the Gambia's public infrastructure portfolio by using the summit as an anchor to national development, says Lamin J.K. Sane, Chief Executive Officer of the OIC Gambia Secretariat. So, rights group calls on government to drop charges against protesters. The Executive Director of Gambian Rights Group, Bey Kanyang, has called on the government to drop the charges against a group of people who were arrested last week on allegation of organizing a protest in demand for President Adama Barrow to step down. The group, who calls themselves Operation 3 Years Jatna, announced last week that they will be protesting to demand President Barrow to respect the 3 years mandate agreement he had with coalition leaders before standing for the 2016 presidential election that ended former President Yahya Jammeh's authoritarian rule. That will be all for the paper, so we'll move to our first story. The Malik Farmer Foundation last week made a donation of food items and bottles of drinking water to prisoners at the State Central Prison, that's Mile 2. The gesture formed part of the foundation's efforts of giving out to the needy and the less privileged. Our Coca has more in this report.
A ceremony held at the Mile 2 prisons to present the donated items, Secretary General of Malik Farmer Foundation, Mr. Omar Baji, highlighted that the gesture was part of his foundation's contribution to the improvement of the welfare of the needy during Ramadan.
The Malik Farmer Foundation is a non-profit organization that was founded in March and registered in October 2018. The overall objective of the organization is to contribute to the living conditions and general welfare of the needy, most especially the inmates across prisons in the Gambia. In an effort to complement government's efforts pursuant to this objective, we intend to make a presentation of food items for the inmates in this very occasion. You may recall that similar presentation was made last year during the Ramadan. This gesture has been adopted by the organizations to be a yearly tradition whereby the foundation, through the support of partners, families, individuals, and of course organizations and well-wishers.
Former Chief of Defense Staff, also advisor to Malik Farmer Foundation, Mr. Lamtombong Tamba, thanked Captain Abdullah Job and wife Ndeye Buso of Malik Farmer Foundation for what he called a noble move in reaching out those in prisons.
Myself, along with Abdullah Job, we were part of the inmates at the Mile 2 here. And at the time, we knew the conditions at the Mile 2, particularly on the side of feeding. And I am very much sure that it is against this background that when both of us or all of us got out of there, Abdullah Job had the vision to plow back to see how he can improve those conditions that we left. And I thank Allah for being with him, for supporting him to be able to do this. He did it last year, and this year too, he is on the verge of doing it in our presence here. So it is a laudable initiative, and I want to call on the members of the general public, particularly those who have been fortunate enough to give a helping hand to the inmates in Mile 2 or in the prisons. Because as the saying goes, the life you save might be your own. So whatever good you do to the inmates here, be rest assured that the reward comes from Allah Almighty. And I also want to thank the board members who worked tirelessly to see that the objectives of the Malik Farmer Foundation are realized.
Receiving the items on behalf of the beneficiaries, Mr. Lamin Sane, Director of Administration of Prison Service, said the items will go a long way in supporting the prison's feeding program.
Always I would say that those inmates will not be regarded as bad people. Some are there by design, some are there by accident, some are there by peer influence. So therefore, it is the mandate of everybody, every citizen, to give assistance to these people.
Reporting for the Fata Network.
South Africa Global is pleased to launch Dalaba Housing Estate. Dalaba Housing Estate is our newest estate located on the Sukuta Jabang Road. You can buy a finished 2 or 3 bedroom house or service plots accompanied with a free fence and gate.
Preacher Bakausu Fofana has chipped into the debate as to whether it is God who puts people into leadership positions. Fofana was speaking to the Fata Network within the context of President Adama Barrow's recent comments that it is God who put him in the position that he is, and it is only God who can remove him from the position. He was speaking to our Omer Wali, and here's an excerpt.
watini watin kamo en nyaton ko jamme fo janne baro ya fo janne ko ala yetel ke presidenti andu ala dam manne be bonde fo andu mo jama ko hani mo lebero fay amanke alati eti o ko nyadil
tawakkul ala la mal akhz bil asbab ala moto moment ya ala muda nin sababo ye tu ala la ani sababo muda e ko ni ko be ala muda la e man sababo muda jam falamu ni ko be tu ko sababo la ya ala tu yomo kafiriyade oro ko fulal la daño kan ala la ke ay ala le mo keje akamo boje ba keje mo le la ke boje mo le sababo wana nyanna ala tendo le sababo tan kila ko man la yashkuru an-nas la yashkuru Allah jamu file ko mo le file pointo lende ni mam mo le tendo ma ala jey ala ko anashkuru li wal wada intendo yewla wulula tendo oro mo si ala tendo nin sababo kila ko man sana ilaykum ma'rufan fakafi'uhu ne mo le nyinyal ka le la nyinyal jo ala kana fo tama kenya ala la kenya odo wo mo mistake ko mo lati akumode di ala fonde ala la commande de ka ke bola sababo do ka fo ala len keje e ma ya teme keje ane ka mistake do fo ala len keje mo tan bonno fo ala ka keje ro ka bondiro nga men ka atele ke yana de boje odo ala le keje sababo molo e se ala tendu e molo tendu president so do fana hakildo ne si kuda e kana nyine ko mol ne si kuda e kana nyine la kawla be be temira banko be maslande mbag president kudo la karola yala ya jam nyol ne baro nyole kude ta kele e ko be dan nakaro woro karo woro sira baro nyol ko karo woro sira baro nyol la fa sabu dawal muna ne ko karo woro nyun dol fana man sa ta je ko be dan sanji sabal sanji sabo fana sira sanji sabo sira le wala masa kanden adam baro be sumar nyan sanji fula mol ka fa adam be kaldi am adam be sumar biden sanji sabo sira e ka nyana dana sa wala jusu bo dunda be orwana si mol si ke ko masa sirol ne sira janne kasiye mol le sindiye mol le hati ne sira si hakil do mol ne sira fana ya kan men fo ya kan le fo ne sira si hakil do kan be ton kon sangara to banko de ok ya jamela mo fa data menna biren baro nyol ko sanji karu woro kan ba yolo o karu woro ko baro nyol faaro ani mo jama faado woro kon odo biren nyol ko sanji sabo sida mansaka kande lala aka jawo siande aka bondiro siande jammo hakkilto bada fon e sabara hakkilto ani mo le doa siande jang fon si tambino nyin tunkon la kana nambar je kana e banko kana nambar je wala nyin sanji sabo tunkon
en tunkon men dol ko e kambentale ko asi sanji sabake bare luwañin ko anyanta ka sanji lulleke ite fe anyanta ka bulo luwañin no ma bang fo animal benda kambe o men animal kambenta men
yara adama baro masa kunda lonna man siya hakiko ko asikara hana fon anatanol yara adama man siya manna me o kam ko ale sono man siya na de be mela ame bale ala bere ara banko do animo ya do dina mewti ko ale sono sindro biri yare ko ay sono londi londo ne hakkil balakan sa nyemma ka fo sey pati sey le lata nyokan e be man sa nyini fa e be atoro so fo adama mol mala fo biri yate tambinde independent sa nyem pati sey be la man sey alale bare ko pati te ya jame bono yara nyimo fongo bankola tare ko nyina en carte fay folode sanji tallu nano kono mais president saison bondi ba jawre sanji tan sa carte ma bondi ya jama mo nen sabake carton ara ben carton fayde signa jama president nam namboy jawra la karo nen sirfu nyoltema ya jama nen la daw nyoltema nen pati to matema ko lesena la na la nyoke ko ngaka kafu kilode pour ngama sa kunda bonde ko fulal ne man sa kunda baraje men tinyara ngode da anen ka loi betol de da pour sama membina yedan sanji sabala e lo beta da banko to le e lo beta da president do membe kanyela e lo beta da telephone la kaforo e lo beta da mo ya da banko la karol ema no sanji sabo be kala ke bodaje e coalition bo yana adamata mararola coalition be mararola coalition mansa kundala adala mala president nyinde odo e law sanji sabo be le dahandila abe banko da nata no keno da ba sa nani luwala sanji lulo nata fo nyoko aka ke kachale nen coalition da mama tembe no hana dibite bon ni ma teme pale minister ma teme no e dara frandumol.
Hey, what are you doing here?
I'm going to replace my AfriCell 3G SIM card.
Why use a 3G SIM card when you have a 4G phone? Replace your 3G SIM card today for the Real Africell 4G SIM and receive 1 GB of internet data for free.
So just to let you know that the full interview with Bakausu will come tomorrow, Friday at 12 o'clock. That's 12 p.m. We'll move to our next story there, which also has to do with Kausu. The youths from various Islamic countries across the globe recently converged on Kuala Lumpur, that's the capital of Malaysia, for a 3-day Islamic conference. The theme of the gathering, which was held from 10 to 12 May, was empowering youth Muslims, pursuing global peace and leading to world change makers. The Gambia was represented at the conference by Sheikh Kausu Sane, president of the Movement for Islamic Research and Da'wah. He was speaking to the Fatu Network on Thursday.
Alhamdulillah alladhi bi ni'matihi tatimmu as-salihat was-salatu was-salamu ala rasulillah sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala jami'il anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala man tabi'ahum bi ihsanin ila yawmil qiyamah. Alhamdulillah, my name is Kausu Sane. I am the president of the Movement for Islamic Research and Dawah. It is earlier in Malaysia and in the Middle East came together to see a need to organize a World Muslim Conference for the first time in the history of the world. To have all the youths from different parts of the world represented in various nations to discuss pertinent issues concerning Islam and global development, and most importantly also, and most especially, global peace. The theme was empowering youth Muslims, pursuing global peace, and leading to the world change makers. So that was the theme, and then Alhamdulillah, the Gambia was privileged to be invited, and I was the representative for the Gambia. The program targeted youth Muslims between the ages of 20 to 35 to come together and meet in Kuala Lumpur and discuss global issues with regards to global peace, global development, Muslim affairs around the world. So Syria were there, Yemen, Indonesia, Malaysia, different countries, but most of them came from the Middle East. In Africa, only the Gambia and Nigeria had representatives, and the Nigerian representative that was there was a professor that was lecturing at the International Islamic University of Malaysia. So he was actually also invited to also speak his perspective on his background's behalf. So actually, I think in Africa we were the only two that represented actually. That is why there was a very strict criteria with regards to the selection of delegates. They do not just open the door for anybody to jump in and represent your country. They made sure they scrutinized the background of representatives to make sure that people that are representing are in fact, youth Muslim leaders of conscious, registered, recognized organizations that are doing productive, efforts, that are making productive efforts and contributing positively towards the development of their countries of origin. So they made sure representatives are from very conscious backgrounds, and they are people that they can trust with regards to their personality, with regards to their history, their records, their qualification, their achievements, their involvement in Islamic affairs, and their perception of global peace as well. That's why the theme was also centered on that, empowering youth Muslims. To empower someone, you will need to add ingredient to their life. You will need to take them from one step to a higher level. So to empower the youth Muslims, you will need to first educate the youth Muslims. That's why our foundation here, which I'm the head of, we've been running courses at the University of the Gambia Faculty of Law over the last 3 years, and currently we have over 650 students that are studying relevant areas in Islam and comparative religion. As you mentioned earlier, of course, yes, there are foreign elements, foreign dissidents that are invading African poor countries, targeting most especially poor backgrounds, to use economy to brainwash the youth Muslims into for example terrorist activities and so on, and it has quite promoted the term Islamophobia and the perception and the concept of Islamophobia. But this conference was one of the aims of the conference, to educate the youths, to empower them, to enrich them and equip them in such a way that when they return to their countries of origin, they are able to return even more equipped than when they left. So they are able. The conference was quite very relevant. It's a historical event. I think it was a foundation that was laid, meant to prepare the attendants, the delegates, to be well equipped such that when they return to their countries, they are able to initiate new programs, they are able to implement, plans and strategies that will promote peace. So this session, Youth Muslim Open Speech, was part of the activities of the conference, wherein all the delegates of various countries were given the floor to speak, their contribution towards the theme that was empowering youth Muslim, pursuing global peace, and leading to the world change maker. So out of these, all the countries that converged there and that presented, 5 were best selected to be the best 5 of the Youth Muslim Open Speech. I was actually among the 5. So Alhamdulillah, Gambia's flag was highly raised there because it's a small country, a poor background actually, with almost inadequate standardized institutions that could have expected to produce somebody that will do very great at that level. But it went very well. I was very well prepared. I came with a lot of glad tidings for the country actually, because I was among the 5 top for the Youth Muslim Open Speech. I was awarded the best male speaker for the Youth Muslim Open Speech session. And equally, I also won project funding for a book publication worth $1 million, which is going to bring a lot of development. I think you have the book there. You could just show it to the spectators. There's the book which I authored last year, Virtues and Rulings of Fasting / Ramadan. So it contains the virtues, the etiquettes, and the rulings of fasting and Ramadan. During Ramadan, people ask a lot of questions. So this book is mainly prepared to help clarify those misconceptions and help people to be more energized within the worship. I authored the book actually, alhamdulillah, and it was published last year, and many copies were sold. Currently, copies are available at Timbuktu with just about $150. People can get themselves a copy. So when I presented the book also there, it was approved, and then we received a funding, a project funding worth $1 million, which we are expected to receive after the Eid, inshallah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
So with that, we come to the end of today's news review show. Thank you very much. Until we come your way again next week, goodbye.